In this video, we will cover two special situations for L1, L1 blanket and L1 new office. So, what's about the L1 blanket?
So the L1 blanket is designed for large corporations. Either your company needs to have at least 1,000 of employees in the United States or certain revenue. I think it was 25 million in revenue. The benefit of L1 blanket is that once it's approved, then you don't have to go through the USCIS every time you need to file an L-1A. You just go through the consulate for your interview. Again, it is designed for large corporations. It doesn't apply to small or medium-sized corporate.
Yeah, and there's like a few other requirements, like 3 branches,
right?
Or maybe you have 10. There's multiple things, but essentially the message is it is for large companies. If your company is smaller, it's not going to work. Right. But once you are a large company, it's very convenient because it's much easier and faster to get these things.
Right.
Okay, that's great. What about the L-1A new office?
So the L-1A new office, it is very similar. I mean, it's the same with the idea about the L-1A, but this one is designed usually for corporations that want to expand into the United States. So as a corporation sitting outside the United States, you would like to have a subsidiary in the US or an affiliate, and you want to send your manager. It's usually a manager. You usually don't send your executive. So usually send one of your managers to set up the US office. And sometimes we use that for entrepreneurs, for startups. It works somewhat well. Once they're in the United States, the L-1A new office is given for actually 1 year only. So it's pretty limited, and sometimes people need more than 1 year to set up the business. So I always tell clients this is designed more for already established corporations in the outside the United States that perhaps already have clients here, or they know that 1 year is enough basically to establish that company in order to get the extension after 1 year. One thing here, in addition to everything that the L-1A requires, additional requirement for new office is a business plan. So you have to present a 5-year business plan in addition to everything else that is required for the L-1A.
And you're also forced to lease an office, right, with the L-1A?
Yeah, you have to lease an office. You have to lease like an office space. Technically, it could be something like WeWork or something similar, but you have to have a physical office for that. Again, it is designed for established corporations outside the United States that wanna expand into the U.S. So it's not your typical entrepreneur visa, but it can be used for that as well.
Yeah, but you will need to hire some people during that first year because if comes the renewal, if you don't have anyone to manage, it's a hard argument to renew, right?
Right, hence the business plan. So as part of the business plan, you have a hiring plan. So you have to tell USCIS and the consular officer that your plan is to hire US employees to grow the business. If you don't do that within the first year, then at the time of extension, it will most likely get denied because we cannot establish that you have managerial duties. If you have no people to manage, you're not managing anything. So it's a little, actually the extension is harder than the initial L1.
Yeah. So this was the video on the two extremes, right? The L1 blanket for really large corporations already established and, having had a lot of L1s already. And the L1 new office where you're just starting here, even though you were big outside, but just to start your businesses in the US.